Okay? So, we learned last week with antalgic position and sciatica, if it is a lateral protrusion, they tend to lean away. If it's a medial protrusion, they tend to lean towards, which takes the pressure off the herniation on the nerve root. So, in this particular correction, the lesion side is down. So, and then it's not hard to figure it. You don't need to really qualify, is this a medial or a lateral protrusion for this particular correction. But if a person says, man, the left side of my back hurts and it's going into my left leg, it is a left-sided herniation. Okay? So the lesion goes down. So what you want to be able to do, remember the intervertebral foramen through which the IVF comes out is made up by two vertebrae, that disc, and that corresponding intervertebral foramen, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my index fingers on the corresponding transverse processes of the vertebra that make up that IVF. Y'all understand that? My index fingers go on the spinous processes of which make up that IVF, right? And then my hands come in kind of like a V. So as long as you can find the spinous processes and your hands come in as a V, your middle fingers just end up where they're supposed to. So you don't really have to worry about that. And then we also learned with a disc herniation that typically it is extension. Was that the cobra or the cat's crawl or what is it? Steve was here, he could tell you. In yoga, cobra. Extension tends to help with relieving pain with the disc herniation. So what I'm doing is I'm going to push towards the belly button, which makes the back extend, right? Now, when you're doing that, you're not bringing your fingers up like this. You're just pushing straight to the belly button, which you'll be able to see, and I'll do it both sides. So if somebody wants to come on up. All right, just like this. So, a person comes in, I have back pain, it hurts here, goes down my leg, and it goes to the middle of the medial part of my foot, or the inside part of my foot, it goes to the top of my foot, it goes to the side of my foot, lets you know that's either L4, L5, or S1, right? You would muscle test, and you would know, okay, this is this muscle, which this is this nerve root. They come in with their MRI, and you say, okay, now you have a herniated disc at L3, L4, L4, L5, or L5, S1, right? So you know that before you do this move. So come scoot a little bit closer to the edge. She's going to put and hold. Doesn't really matter which hand goes on top, but she's going to hold the wrists. And so I'm going to bring this leg up, same kind of thing. And so I'm going to find the crest, come down. I can use that like this is where the spinous process of the inferior vertebra is. This hand comes in so that my forearm is holding her shoulder down, and then my upside finger goes on the upside vertebra, right? And I'm using my leg to create a bit of torsion, so I'm doing this. See that? So the apex of this torsion should be where the lesion is. So again, you're going to determine where's the lesion by doing this same move that you've learned. Leave it in that position. There's no thrust involved with this. So this comes through. You find those two spinous processes. You can see how my fingers are there. Then what I'm going to do, once I got the traction out, I'm going to 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, push against the vertebra. So what I'm not doing is this. And I'm not using just my fingers. My fingers are flat, and I'm using kind of my wrists, my palms, and all of my hand create that stretch. Let me do it on the other side so you can see it over here. So if a patient comes in and they have, oh, my back really hurts going to my leg, and you don't feel comfortable to do the whoosh or the kick, because you're like, yeah, maybe it's going to make it worse. I saw a student in the DSDL the other day, and he could barely, kind of get on the table. He could barely turn over, and I'm like, I don't think I want to do the whomp thing on this guy. So we did the blocks, which kind of because he had a short leg discrepancy like that. And then after that, I just did the bunion on him. I did some muscle energy technique stuff as well, that you guys will be exposed to next quarter. And then kind of let them. I think I did the muscle energy technique first. I did the bunion technique, and I let him kind of rest there with the blocks. So he got out after about 5 or 7 minutes, and he felt much better, and actually could get off the table without being all like gimp. I don't know how he's done since then, but he's had a history of some back issues. So, you know, being conservative sometimes is what you need to do, so you're going to get first do no harm. So anyway. So the reason that she's holding her arms like this is when this comes in through here, I got to push down, right? So if she wasn't holding here, this hand could just kind of fall off like that. So that helps kind of get a little bit of leverage. And then you can see how my leg comes down. This creates that rotation, right? And then 2, 3, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. You could also, and I might, kind of reposition myself, because this actually takes a lot of effort to push. It looks like it wouldn't be anything, but it's like, man, after I do it 5 times, I'm like, I got to kind of reset up. And sometimes that reset up just kind of helps things to kind of shake out. You could also consider doing the vertical skin traction, which I won't do because Tricia does not like it. So that's the bunion technique. So let's practice that up. We've got about